Picture this. A young boy sitting in a classroom, struggling to make sense of the jumbled letters dancing before his eyes. That boy was Richard Branson. And back then, no one could have guessed he'd become one of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. Growing up with dyslexia wasn't easy for Richard. His teachers thought he was lazy or stupid. Reading and writing felt like climbing Mount Everest every single day. But here's where the story gets interesting. Instead of letting his dyslexia define him, Richard learned to work around it. You see, while other kids buried their heads in books, Richard was developing different skills. He became incredibly good at listening and remembering details. He mastered the art of delegating tasks. Most importantly, he learned to think differently, to see opportunities where others saw obstacles. At just 16, he started his first business, a magazine called Student. Now, imagine the irony. A dyslexic teenager running a publication. But Richard had a secret weapon. He focused on what he was good at, connecting with people, making deals, and thinking big, while surrounding himself with team members who could handle the reading and writing. This pattern continued throughout his life. When he launched Virgin Records, he didn't need to read complex contracts. Instead, he developed an uncanny ability to understand the big picture and trust his instincts. His dyslexia actually became his superpower. It forced him to simplify complex problems and communicate in straightforward ways. Today, Richard Branson's net worth is over $4 billion. He's built more than 400 companies under the Virgin brand, from airlines to space travel. He's proven that success isn't about how well you can read. It's about how well you can dream and execute those dreams. But perhaps the most inspiring part? Branson has become a vocal advocate for dyslexic individuals, showing that what society might see as a disability can actually be a different ability. He often says, "If anybody has a problem with dyslexia, can I emphasize that you are not alone and that it is not a disadvantage? It is merely a different way of thinking." His story teaches us something profound. Sometimes our biggest challenges can become our greatest strengths. It's not about what cards you're dealt. It's about how you play them. And that, my friends, is how a boy who struggled to read became a billionaire who's changing the world. Pretty amazing what can happen when you refuse to let labels define your potential, isn't it?